The UK's economy has finally recovered the ground it lost in the 2008-9 recession, according to leading think tank, the National Institute of Economic and Social Research. But the most recent official figures from the first quarter of 2014 show GDP still 0.6% below the peak. The UK's GDP will soon be getting a boost when the Office of National Statistics revises GDP up by 4.6% in September, by including research and development costs and, more controversially, black market activities. With me on the line to discuss this unusual step is Gerba from the London School of Economics. Eddie, how novel an idea is it to add black market activity to GDP?
From a conceptual point of view, it's not that novel. I mean, economists have thought about this for a very long time. There is a branch of economics literature studying this, but of course there are complications related to it, just as with any type of shadow economy. And I guess there are moral or social implications out of it, so that's why it is novel in the context of governments considering this. But you have a few cases where the countries have actually incorporated this already a while ago, and Italy is one of them.
Why would any government consider doing this, and is it a good idea?
Well, first of all, there is the objectivity, of course, of an economy. What you want with a GDP measure is actually to capture all the economic activity taking place by its citizens, if it's GDP, or in its territory, if it's GNP. So apart from that, I think in the current context, it might be interesting for the fiscal measure, for the debt levels, because, of course, if you have a very strong informal economy, that will expand your GDP, but the public debt will be the same. So, because, of course, the informal economy usually does not take part in the fiscal side of the formal economy. So the debt to GDP levels will be lower. So this is, first of all, a good signal for the market, but also it sounds more sustainable. So there might be that incentive. There might be issues, of course, in the structure of the economy if you want to study how the evolution of the totality of the economy has been, but also its subsectors. That might be also interesting for the government to know whether the shadow economies increase or decrease over time.
How will governments actually be able to measure the black market, Eddie?
That is not the easiest. There exists already models, heuristic pricing models, or shadow pricing models, which use different signals from the market and that they try to extrapolate relevant information for the prices. Of course, heuristic type of markets don't have an explicit price, and price is a signal. So what they do instead, they take characteristics, maybe the cost structure or the type of agents on the demand side in which their purchasing capacity, and then kind of extract information on that and what the final price of the good might be. So heuristic pricing models, I'm sure, are going to be the most ones or the most relevant ones, but they might also use some social characteristics as well.
And finally, Eddie, how is including black market activity different to including the shadow economy?
So black economy is a subcategory in the shadow economy. I mean, there's a bit of inconsistency in the terminology, so sometimes some economists will use informal economy, sometimes shadow economy, sometimes black, but as it's understood, as far as I understand that, black market is a subsection of the shadow economy. So including shadow economy will not only be the illegal activities per se or illegal transactions, but there will also be what is called household work. That is also very important. Household work is not usually captured in the normal GDP and GNP measures, but that could also be raw material activities or commodities where there is a gray market.
Thank you, Eddie. You've been watching Dukascopy TV. Goodbye for now.